In 1783, in the ancient land of Persia, a religious scholar known as Sheikh Ahmad Ahsai came to a profound realization. At the age of 40, he began to travel throughout the region, announcing the advent of a great day and the appearance of the Promised One. As he spread this message far and wide, his knowledge and wisdom impressed many, including students eager to learn from him. Among these was a gifted young man named Sayyid Kazem Rashti. Following his teacher's passing, Sayyid Kazem continued to spread the word of the advent of the Promised One, and in turn gathered students of his own. Shortly before his own passing in 1843, Sayyid Kazem instructed them to go out in search of the Promised One, as his arrival was at hand. It was this quest that led one of the students, Mulla Husayn, to the city of Shiraz on May 22nd, 1844. While walking outside the gates of the city a few hours before sunset, he was unexpectedly greeted by a young man. The young man introduced himself as Siyyid Ali-Muhammad and invited Mulla Husayn to his home. Mulla Husayn and his host spent much time talking about Sayyid Kazem. Ali Muhammad proceeded to demonstrate that each of the signs given by Sayyid Kazem to identify the Promised One were applicable to him. Mulla Husayn was still unsure. He had prepared 2 tests for anyone claiming to be the Promised One, and decided to place them before Siyyid Ali-Muhammad. Those 2 tests were as follows. First, the Promised One must reveal an explanation of part of the Quran known as surih of Joseph. Had to take this action on his own initiative, not by request. Second, he must provide an illuminating explanation of a book which Mulla Husayn himself had written regarding some teachings of Sheikh Ahmad and Sayyid Kazem. Though hesitant, Mulla Husayn asked Siyyid Ali-Muhammad to read his book and comment upon it. Siyyid Ali-Muhammad opened the book, glanced at certain passages, closed it. Within a few minutes, he had unraveled and resolved all its ideas, all its mysteries, and then went on to say, now is the time to reveal the commentary on the surih of Joseph. The story of Joseph is a moving and lengthy tale which inspired people for millennia. It is found in the book of Genesis, written several centuries before Christ, as well as in the Quran. Joseph was born to the biblical patriarch Jacob and his wife Rachel in the town of Haran in ancient Mesopotamia. Jacob had 12 sons, but displayed special affection for Joseph, who was born in the father's old age. One such demonstration involved presenting Joseph with a specially crafted garment, the famous coat of many colors, which increased feelings of jealousy within his brothers. These ill feelings intensified when Joseph told them about 2 dreams in which he had seemed to be set above them. In the first, the brothers gathered wheat in the field, and then the brothers' bundle of grain bowed to Joseph's bundle. In the second, Joseph envisioned the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowing to him. On an occasion, when their father instructed Joseph to go visit his brothers who were tending the family's flock, they threw Joseph into a pit and then sold him into slavery to a passing Arab caravan. He was brought to Egypt and sold to one of the ministers of the Pharaoh. Over time, Joseph's character virtues resulted in a good impression upon the minister. But this changed when his attractive appearance caught the attention of the minister's wife. She wanted to begin a relationship with him, but he repeatedly refused. Frustrated by his rejection, the wife told the minister that it was Joseph who made advances toward her, so he flung his faithful servant into prison. 2 years later, the Pharaoh himself had some troubling dreams, which none of his advisors could explain to his satisfaction. It was suggested that Joseph be summoned. Joseph, then 30, interpreted Pharaoh's dreams as being a divine prediction of 7 years of plenty, followed by 7 years of famine. He advised Pharaoh to prepare by storing grain during the first 7 years. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom, Pharaoh appointed him as his viceroy, second only to the king himself, and tasked him with readying the nation for the years of famine. Joseph's preparation not only saved the Egyptian people during the time of famine, but helped people from surrounding areas as well. His brothers traveled to Egypt to purchase grain to prevent the starvation of the people of Canaan, but did not recognize their brother when they bowed down before him as the viceroy of Egypt. In this way, Joseph's earlier dream also came true. Ultimately, he forgave and was reconciled with his brothers, who went on to become the patriarch of the 12 tribes of Israel. But what does Joseph's story signify concerning the promised one of all ages? According to the prophet Daniel, the deeper meanings of the holy books were sealed until the end of times. So the process of breaking those seals, as Siyyid Ali-Muhammad, soon to be known as the Bab, began with a self-initiated commentary on the story of Joseph. Here is only a brief summary of the Bab's explanations on this surah. The dream of the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowing before Joseph signifies a recognition of the Bab by Muhammad and his successors, the Imams. Jacob entrusting Joseph to his brothers, and the brothers promising their father to return to take care of Joseph, signifies the great covenant between God and humanity, that God will continue to send messengers to humanity, and humanity promises to turn to them and live according to their teachings. Pharaoh's realization of Joseph's spiritual powers to interpret dreams indicates humanity's dawning recognition of the powers of the manifestation to unravel mysteries, resolve complexities, and solve intractable problems of each age. The famine signifies humanity's hunger for divine knowledge, and Joseph's position as being charged with distribution of food to the land signifies the eventual rise of the manifestation to universal recognition by all humanity, which feasts on his word. Mulla Husayn needed no further proof. He just sat there, Watching the Bab write his explanation while simultaneously speaking the words, and listening to the Bab's melodious voice all night long. When the Bab finished writing, he went on to say that in this day all peoples and nations of the earth, both in the east and the west, should ask for help from God the Merciful. It is easy to imagine how overwhelmed Mulla Husayn must have been. In his own words, he stated, "This message came like a clap of thunder. For a while, I could neither see, nor feel, nor hear. It was too great to be true. I could not realize what had happened. Before I had been weak and powerless, I became glad and strong. I felt that I had so much courage and power that even if all the world were to rise up against me, I would be able to meet any attack or difficulty. The world and all things seemed like a handful of dust in my grasp."